Welcome to our channel, The GK Time. In this video, you will find 100 easy general knowledge questions and answers. Moon is the satellite of which planet? Answer: Earth. How many bones are there in the spine? Answer: 33. Which planet is nearest to the Earth? Answer: Venus. Which is the slowest animal on the land? Answer: three-toed sloth. What is a baby goat called? Answer: kid. Which is the first country to start paper currency? Answer: China. Which is the largest freshwater lake in the world? Answer: Lake Superior. Which is the longest mountain range in the world? Answer: Andes. Which planet is closest to the Sun? Answer: Mercury. Which planet is known as the Earth's twin? Answer: Venus. Which is the largest desert in Asia? Answer: Gobi Desert. Which is the largest continent in population? Answer: Asia. Who was the first American president? Answer: George Washington. How many bones are there in infant human body? Answer: 300. What is the sea that separates Europe and Africa? Answer: the Mediterranean. What is the name of the biggest ocean on earth? Answer: the Pacific Ocean. How many colors are there in a rainbow? Answer: 7. How many players are there in a cricket team? Answer: 11. What is a female swan called? Answer: pen. Which is the biggest continent in the world? Answer: Asia. Who is the inventor of electricity? Answer: Benjamin Franklin. A person who studies biology is known as a. Answer: biologist. Which is called the king of spices? Answer: black pepper. In which country are the ancient pyramids located? Answer: Egypt. New Zealand is in which continent? Answer: Australia. How many rings are there in the Olympic Games symbol? Answer: 5. Which planet is called Blue Planet? Answer: Earth. Which is the first country to print the book? Answer: China. England is in which continent? Answer: Europe. Which country is also known as the Holland? Answer: Netherlands. Kelvin scale is a unit of. Answer: temperature. Which is the largest desert in the world? Answer: Sahara Desert. Which is the largest island in the world? Answer: Greenland. Which is the largest saltwater lake in the world? Answer: Caspian Sea. Which is the nearest star to Earth? Answer: Sun. Which planet is known as the Red Planet? Answer: Mars. Which is the first country to host modern Olympic? Answer: Greece. Which is the smallest country in the world? Answer: Vatican City. Which is the smallest desert in the world? Answer: Carcross Desert. Which is the largest animal in the sea? Answer: Blue whale. Which is the largest animal on land? Answer: Elephant. Which is the highest mountain in the world? Answer: Mount Everest. Which is the hottest continent on Earth? Answer: Africa. Which is the largest country in the world? Answer: Russia. NaCl is the chemical formula for what? Answer: Sodium chloride. Which is the smallest continent? Answer: Australia. Where is the smallest bone in our body located? Answer: Ear. Which is the largest waterfall in the world? Answer: Victoria Falls. Which is the largest plateau in the world? Answer: Tibetan Plateau. Which is the largest flower in the world? Answer Rafflesia. Which is the tallest waterfall in the world? Answer Angel Falls. Which is the tallest animal on earth? Answer Giraffe. Which is the largest planet? Answer Jupiter. Which ocean is frozen for most of the year? Answer Arctic. What is a group of lions called? Answer Prides. How many legs does a spider have? Answer 8. Which country is home to the kangaroo? Answer Australia. Which is the fastest bird? Answer Peregrine falcon. Which is the smallest bird? Answer hummingbird. Which is the fastest animal on the land? Answer cheetah. Which is the most sensitive organ in our body? Answer skin. Who invented the first computer? Answer Charles Babbage. Who invented the telephone? Answer Alexander Graham Bell. Who is the first person to sail around the world? Answer Ferdinand Magellan. The first person to win Nobel Prize twice. Answer Marie Curie. Which is the first country to issue stamps? Answer UK. Which is the first country to start plastic currency? Answer Australia. Which is the first country to give voting right to women? Answer New Zealand. Which is the first country to make a constitution? Answer USA. Who is the inventor of television? Answer John Logie Baird. Who is the first woman prime minister in the world? Answer Sirimavo Bandaranaike. Who is the first woman to climb Mount Everest? Answer Jinko Tabai. LBW is related to which sports? Answer Cricket. How frequently are the Olympic Games held? Answer 4 years. How many sides are there in a pentagon? Answer 5. Which animal has two humps on its back? Answer Bactrian camel. Baby of horse is called. Answer colt. Scientific study of birds is called. Answer ornithology. Which organ purifies our blood? Answer kidney. The normal boiling point of water is. Answer 100 degrees. Who was the first person to set foot on moon? Answer Neil Armstrong. How many planets are there in our solar system? Answer 8. How many legs do ants have? Answer 6. Oscar award is given in the field of. Answer cinema. What country has a maple leaf on their national flag? Answer Canada. In what country was Nelson Mandela born? Answer South Africa. How long does it take sunlight to reach the earth? Answer approximately 8.3 minutes. What does UR stand for in movie rating? Answer unrated. How many grams are there in a kilogram? Answer 1000. How many pockets does a snooker table have? Answer 6. How many hearts does an octopus have? Answer 3. Which is the only snake that builds nests for its eggs? Answer king cobra. What is the master gland in the body? Answer pituitary gland. Who is the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize? Answer Rabindranath Tagore. What is the most spoken language in the world? Answer Mandarin Chinese. Which is the first Asian city to host Olympic Games? Answer Tokyo. Which is the first country to win Football World Cup? Answer Uruguay. What is the full form of PIN? Answer Personal Identification Number. The gas used to extinguish fire. Answer carbon dioxide. How many ribs are there in a human body? Answer 24. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. For more general knowledge videos, please subscribe to our channel.